Hey, howdy everybody. Welcome back to another one. I have got something special for you here today, a brand new box. So this one actually came from, this is my first time getting it from here. So it is from Ship Your Knives. So I was actually kind of put onto them by somebody in the community of the knife that I bought. And as somebody who would have one in stock, it's a hard one to find. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so if I remember correctly, this thing is taped up this way, so. This is a, one that I've been looking for a while. A little bit harder of a knife to get. It is from a company that, really just does pretty exclusive lottos anyway. And so this is one of the more rare models that they make in general. So, I mean, a lotto system plus a rare model is equal to not a lot of people having them, though this one has a bit more of a story. All right, so got a bunch of peanuts here. Hold on, let me get this out of here and see what else we got in here. So there you go, there's your Sell Your Knives business card. We've got peanuts all over the floor I've got to clean up now. So yeah, Sell Your Knives. Look them up. They you can offer, like they have knives listed for a certain price. I just reached out to them on Instagram and let them know what model I was looking at and gave them their SKU from their website and offered them a different price. They kind of countered and we came back finally to an agreement, and that was on this knife here. All right, so as you can see, it is an Oz Machine Co. And it is a Skelly Roosevelt. How about that? So 3686 magnacut, skeleton milling in an all-tie construction. Date of birth is the 29th of October, this past year of 24. So sticker back there. Certificate of authenticity for this. So, wow, that thing, it feels so, from my understanding, I've watched the videos, this thing is approximately like 0.3 ounces lighter. But man, I can tell you just off the bat, like it feels way lighter than that. So let's see here. I'm going to go over some of the Roosevelt specs. So according to their website, from tip here to the beginning of the sharpening choil is 2.9 inches. So 2.9 inches of cutting length. And then also from back of handle to the front of this index right here is 3.2 inches, and then from the back to that tip of that choil where it starts is 4.11 inches. So it's like 3.5 inches of handle length. Actually, I'm sorry, a little bit more than that, like 3.75 of handle length. And so it's let me see if they've got the weight on here. I don't see the weight on here. But I know total weight under, so internal milling, I mean, obviously this is completely milled out totally. Wow, that was smooth. Wow, that's pretty awesome. That is a smooth knife. I love that it's going to be magnacut. Magnacut is a great one. I live in the South, near the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. And so things can get decently humid and nasty salt air everywhere. And so I like a really rust or corrosion resistant blade. And then just the actual weight of this and the feeling. You know, one of the big things I was worried about, and I will say this, just obviously very limited use. Blade is absolutely razor sharp, feels factory. But you know, I'm a huge fan of the Roosevelt. I have another one I'll show y'all here in a second. This is actually my third that I've owned. I sold another one to a buddy of mine who watches some of my videos. Shout out to you, Brandon, if you watch this. And I have just been chasing this. So they dropped one. I'll put it on the screen somewhere up here or something. But they dropped one, not in this past drop that they had, not the past one, but the one right before this, that had a Zerkatai backspacer and clip on it. And I tried my hardest to get my hands on one after I obviously didn't win the lotto. And no one's really parting with them. And if they are, I'm pretty sure they're people that are parting with them to people who they like or know or whatever. I haven't ever seen one come up. I've seen a couple change hands, but never even saw them go up for sale. So I would assume somebody had claims on it or something. So on that note, I sold the crosshatch Rosie that had the Zerkatai I make sick shit stuff on it. And that's what's going to be going on this. So I'll do that today as well. Yeah, we can, you know, go from there. But let's do some size comparisons for a Roosevelt. I don't think I've ever had my other ones on. So let's do this. I am so short on knives right now because I have a bunch out for modification. But let's go with a McNeese 3.5 black swerve. And how about, let's see what else I can get out here for you that y'all know what it is. How about a Benchmade mini grip. So pretty similar size to the mini grip. The handle's obviously bigger, definitely wider. Blade length is almost the exact same. Cutting edge is definitely more than the grip, mini grip. And the Mac 3.5 is obviously just going to be more blade. Like I said, yeah, definitely more blade. Similar handle size, almost identical. Different profile and everything, of course, but very similar nonetheless. So let's go to, let me see what else I got. Let's try some of the Jack Wolfs. So my modded Benny, that was modded by the Knife Modders as part of the DLT 12 Days of Christmas. And then how about the newest Jack Wolf knives Primo? Definitely skinnier knives than the Roosevelt, longer as well. Can be, you know, deceiving front to back. So there you go. And how about a Demco Shark Cub? And the Mini Ritter Hogue. Definitely more close to those knives. I really think these are two really similar knives. If you like the Shark Cub, you would really like the Rosie. It's just a more refined version. I mean, obviously much more expensive knife, but it's a refined version of the Shark Cub in my opinion. They are super similar. Let me get that out of the way. Super similar in all of their aspects. Handle is, I mean, you can see it. It's literally the exact same length. Very similar finger cuts. Similar open style. And both are going to be really lightweight knives. Now, this is clearly heavier than this. Obviously, it's no debate there. But similar blade style. Smaller blade on the Shark Cub for sure. And let's do the Benchmade Mediator and the ProTech Magic Whiskers. So as you can see, I mean, it's a really good EDC size knife. I personally love the Rosie. It's one of my absolute favorites. And I think that's just because it's very apparent how well they're made, the tolerances. Daniel Osborne at Oz Machine Co., the owner there, clearly has his hands in everything. And he does a really good job. So next thing I want to do, I don't like making these videos super long, so let's try to get into this. Excuse my sniffling, guys. My allergies are going nuts here. So T8 all the way around. Get this back one out. I like to lay them out how I got them, so I'll lay this one out as the back one. And the front one there. Alright, we can go this one here. Lay that out back. Get this other one out. Lay that one out as the front. And then let's see if we can get the pivot out of here. There we go. So it is double-sided. I just put pressure on the other side, and typically I can get it out fairly easily. So it looks like spacer and everything's coming out on this side. So let's go ahead and just make everything. All right, so I'm gonna leave that in there. So you'll see here, clearly, spacer. And so on this one, you'll see we have the pocket clip screw. So you can go ahead and back that out. All right, so the way these are fitted in here, they can be a tad bit difficult to get out. So if you have that problem, what I like to do is take something that's not going to mar up anything and try to get it in there. And I just broke that. So this one's on there pretty good. We might have to use some different techniques. Let me see real quick what I can get done here. All right, actually wasn't in there as bad as I thought it was. All right, so clip off there. All right, so clip will go on the exact same way. Just have to get it lined up and then do a little bit of a press fitting here. I will actually use my mat here a lot of the time for a press because it's a padded mat. Oh yeah, that's gonna look great. All right, so you'll see, let's do this. There we go. So you'll be able to see here that is a snug and good fit. rests right on the bar where it should. No bouncing or anything, which is great. So what I'll do then, since that's fit, we can use the same screw, which will be the long one. I actually have a color match screw since it's a Skelly coming in from Oz. And that will, because you'll be able to see that screw through the skeletonized frame, right? So I want it to match the green in there. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of green on this one like I did the last, but I certainly do. Just be careful when y'all are tightening this stuff up. You don't want to snap the screw head off or anything like that, or strip anything. So that should be nice and tight in there. So the other thing I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and get the backspacer out. Show y'all that again. Real good work. All right, so that is going to land right in here. Nothing sticking down, we're good there. So let's go ahead and get a couple of the screws and we'll get that started, okay? So I want to grab, this was the back screw here. And you're just going to start this one so that it starts to grab that backspacer, okay? You don't want to tighten it up because then you're not going to be able to line up your holes to do your other one. You're going to have to start loosening stuff, and you know, the less that you actually have to do this stuff, the better. So we'll get this other little screw right in here. And perfect. Okay. So you can tighten that second one up then. Tighten that up. Go back to your first one. And tighten that up. Okay. So now you can really start reassembling kind of the rest of the knife. So we need to put obviously our bearing back in, and then we can go so let's do this the other way. So bearing there, then your blade will go on. Get that out of the way. Blade will go on. Okay. And then now you will have this side that goes on. Okay, let's actually assemble it the other way. So let's go this way first. Down like that. So you need to make sure you put your pins back in place. And your stop pin here. And then you will have your bearing. And then everything else should line up. So now we need to rotate this. So what I want to do first is let's start this. The reason I'm going backwards, guys, is you don't want to strip these, right? Like, so if you feel resistance, like it doesn't want to screw in, you're probably going in sideways, or you're going to cross thread, or whatever it might be. You just need to be real careful when you do this so you don't do any of that, okay? So now that's on. It's not going to be, you know, perfectly tight where I want it to be. But what I'm able to do now I got something out of whack back here. Hold on, guys, sorry. There we go. Okay, so you can put your back screw, your other screws in to tighten up the other scale to the backspacer. So back one's in. You should be able to just tighten all the way down. Again, you're not going to do too much. Just going to go there for now. Get this other one in. Tighten that up. Okay. So now you can go in and tighten that up just a little bit more to where it's snug. Again, you don't want to overdo it. You will or can snap off screw heads. I'm going to go ahead and check this back side as well. Okay. Okay. Now let's tighten up our barrels. So let's go here. We're a little tight. I can feel it. And we're off center big time. So I think there's still some tightening that needs to be done, quite a bit. That should start to drift that blade back over. You can actively watch that happen. And then let's back it out of that just a little bit. Okay. Still a little too tight. Still a little off there, so let's do this. Back it out just a little bit more. There we go. That feels better. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I like the way that looks. That is smooth. All right, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Have a good one.